everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands, Warm Hearts. I am bringing you a video today of my Facebook Live project from Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. I am using the Art Gallery bundle. This is the stamp set right here, and there are matching dies that go with it. Let me grab those. Here they are, and they also have this little die here which cuts these words out. I'm just going to be using 2 stamps out of the stamp set today, and this die, we're going to be cutting that out of the black paper. This is the card we're making. Isn't it cute? It has the beautiful Fine Art Gallery Designer Series paper, which will be retiring officially on the 30th of this month. So if you want this paper, now's the time to act. Also, the Art Gallery bundle is in our annual catalog. It did carry over, but it is no longer a bundle. So if you want to save the 10%, now's the time to do that as well. All right, enough about that. Let's get started. I have used a basic half sheet of cardstock here, and we are going to take that and fold it in half with our bone folder. Let me grab that. This is our basic white cardstock. And we're going to put some snail adhesive onto our Designer Series paper, which is absolutely beautiful. This is the print that I've chosen, and this is the back. I hate to almost cover it up, it's so pretty. But we're going to go ahead and attach 2 lines of that adhesive and go ahead and put that onto our card. The card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and this layer here is 4 by 5.25. You won't need the measurements, as my blog, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. You can go there. There will be a PDF on Friday that will have the dimensions for the Tuesday and the Thursday live that I will be doing. There'll be 2 projects, 1 each day. All right, so once that's down there, we're going to die cut out some circles, and I have used the fabulous layering circle dies. This is what they are, and this is what they look like. They have scallop and regular circles that kind of nest within each other. So these are the 2 that we are going to be using. And using the gallery dies, the floral gallery dies, I'm using the words which are really unique in this set actually, because you have the images here that cut out the flower, this little floral piece here, the 2 flower and the overlay, and then the stem. And then these little pieces are a really cute little postage stamp kind of look that will hold these sentiments that are included in the stamp set. But we are going to just use this, and what I did to make it a little bit easier is I put our adhesive sheets on the back. So whenever you're doing something that's intricate and you're die cutting it, to help you with the glue process, I recommend the adhesive sheets. They come in a package and they're very easy to use. You just peel the back off, put it onto your cardstock. Here they are. And you will be able to trim your cardstock piece out. So once you have your cardstock piece trimmed out there, you're gonna put your die onto it and run it through your die cut machine. I use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You could use the mini for this one. It's not a large die. So this works rather well. So once you've done that and run it through your machine, you're gonna pull it out like this. And there it is. I only have 1 little piece. There we go. Well, actually 2. And the piece here that is the dot on the J So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool, the best tool that we own. Love it. These little dots that are in the dies are to help you release the paper that's in them. So I don't want to lose that piece here. This is the dot for the J. So I'm going to go ahead and just place it down right here onto this piece of white so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop these other pieces out, pulling the sections of them out as I go. So there's that. There's this one and this one. All right, and we're going to get the little centers out of it. So let's go ahead and get the other pieces. This little piece here, I also use the Take Your Pick tool to kind of help me with that, which is awesome. Since it's a script, it has those little circular, or I don't know what you call them when you do those little curves on your words. I am getting this piece out and it's stuck to my finger, which is good, right? That means the adhesive sheets are doing their job. The last piece here is this little loop in the J. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of those. Get those out of the way and move on. So this die is really unique. It's very cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and place it back in here so I don't lose it. But I like to keep them in these magnet sheets to help me. So let's go ahead and attach this onto our circle. So the way that I did it was I just decided to just kind of lay it and figure out how I wanted it to go. Let me move this card out of the way, and we don't really need this piece either. I just wanted to figure out how I wanted to place it. So I just played with the words and got them to fit onto my circle. That J kind of hangs down there. It leaves room. I want to leave some room for the little dot on there. And then we're going to do this too. And then say we'll drop it down a smidge like that. And once I'm happy with the placement of it and I'm happy with how it's going to be attached, I'm going to go ahead and just pull that up and just peel this backing off. And when you use these adhesive sheets, it basically makes this a sticker. So it makes your life so much simpler. Let's go ahead and stick that piece down. Let me get the little dot for the J. It's a small piece, but we can get it. And go ahead and stick that part down. Here is the want. There we go. Just want. That looks good there. A little part of it can overhang a smidge there. And then we're going to do two. Just like that. A little bit of that. And then the last word here. Just want to say, as you can see, these adhesive sheets make it so nice. Definitely worth the investment. I love all different kinds of adhesive for different purposes, don't you? All right. So once I have them, I'm going to press those down pretty good. And then I'm going to turn over my circle and get my adhesive going here. I'm going to put some on the back. Okay. And we will mount the scallop behind it just so that just hint of that pool party paper just pops out around there. There's a close-up. Isn't that nice? All right, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back, and I'm going to use some large ones. And put one in the center as well. All right, almost done, guys. let me clear this out of the way, and we're going to get started on the next part, which is the word happy birthday. And I have done that on a piece of basic black cardstock, just like this, and I have heat embossed it. So whenever I do any kind of heat embossing, I use my Versamark ink. So let me grab that. This is what it looks like. And we are going to ink up our happy birthday. But before we do that, Stampin' Up! Used to carry something called an embossing buddy. And I don't know why they don't carry it anymore, but you can find them on Amazon. It's kind of like a chalky residue that you rub over your paper, which helps with any static. Because when you use powder for heat embossing, it's very fine and it tends to stick to any oils on your hands or anything like that. So I'm going to try not to touch it now that I put that down there, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up my happy birthday. And then I'm going to go ahead and come down here just like this. This looks good. And I'm going to stamp happy birthday and lift that up. You can kind of see it. I'm trying not to touch where it is. And then we're going to use our embossing powder. And I poured my embossing powder into this little container. They come in a little jar. And I just put the sticker of the jar on the bottom. Let me see if I can move it so you can see. I just tape it to the bottom so that I know what color it is. You can see through, but sometimes you want to have that for reference. So I just use a regular plastic spoon to help me. And I'm going to actually stick this piece into, since it's small enough, into my container and then pour this over the top. And then I'm just going to tap off just like that. I'm going to do it one more time to make sure that all the powder got where it needs to be, just like that, okay? And I'm going to set it aside. If you have any stray pieces of powder where you might have missed with the static helper, I use just a small brush like this, and I will just really carefully try and grab, there's one little speck, there it is, those pieces away. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean the stamp. You see my very loved Simply Chamois here. I keep it in a stamp case, which you can buy those. And let's go ahead and heat emboss it. I'm going to just put some heat on here. And I'm going to get the heat embosser started. And then I'm just going to put my hand in front. When it feels really warm, then I'm going to go ahead and bring it over the top. This won't take too long, and I'm trying to give you a good view here. But it melts that powder on there. Just like that. That's all the heat embossing. So now I'm going to use my baby little Stampin' Up! Trimmer. I got this when I signed up to be a demonstrator. It was one of the promotions they were doing, but I'm just going to go ahead and place it in here and just trim that piece right off. There we go. And now I'm going to use my scissors for the rest. I just wanted to take that off of there. I'm going to use my paper snips. And I'm just going to trim it a little bit closer. So I'm just going to come in like this. I just wanted it to be a small piece. And try and keep it as straight as I can and bring this in as well, right there. That looks pretty good. Let's get rid of those pieces. Okay, so now we have all the elements that we need to put our card together. I'm gonna grab my last stamping piece that I need to do, and I'm gonna stamp the inside with this really cute little flower image. I'm gonna use Pool Party because it is the color of the scallop, and I just wanted to tie it that color to the inside. I always like to have a little something on the inside so that it's not plain. So that's our pool party and our verse mark. All right, so let me clean that stamp. And then that's all the stamping for today. Pretty quick. All right. Now, one thing that I realized I forgot to do, you guys get to see me in a panic mode, is I forgot to put the ribbon on before I glued this DSP down. I don't know if I'll be able to lift it up because our adhesive is very, very sticky. But if I use my take your pick tool and just lift it a little bit, so you guys get to see mistakes, which is always good because then you know how to fix them right when you do them. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this also under here, and just being really careful not to rip the paper. I'm gonna lift it just a little bit higher. All right, yay, perfect save. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick my ribbon here. I've cut a piece just a little longer than the two sides. We'll start on one side, and I'm gonna stick it here underneath. That adhesive should still be pretty sticky. I'm gonna go a little higher, I think. Let's go a little bit higher right up here. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more adhesive onto my cardstock. Just like that. Okay. So this is where the ribbon goes, gets attached. And then I'm gonna bring it down and around to the other side. And then I'm gonna stick it onto my cardstock. So let me put some adhesive there as well. So let's go ahead and bring this taut, bring it around here like this, and stick that down kind of straight. There we go. And now I can press that adhesive back down. Thank God I didn't put too much. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some of that off of there. I put a little too much onto the cardstock. This is our, it's an adhesive remover. And that should be good enough. It's gonna be mostly covered. I just wanted to have something there. Make sure, since I did it delayed. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and attach this piece on, which will anchor it. On this side, once we have our scallop piece on, we can fix the ribbon, the other little part, to get this little knot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these pieces off. I like to use the take your pick tool because that way I can get them all off and throw them away and they're not stuck to everything, because these dimensionals like to stick to everything. But that way I have a little stack all together that I can get off there. Let's go ahead and attach this down onto our card. That looks good. That way I have those three flowers kind of showcased there. Try and make it as straight as possible. And we're gonna stick that down. Now that it's there, I'm gonna go ahead and put that little piece of ribbon through there, and I'm gonna just tie it in a knot. Because this ribbon is organdy and it's see-through, the knot is very tight when you tie it. So I like to do a double knot, and when now that I know that it's secure, when I do the second knot, I don't have to pull it as tight. So it can look a little bit prettier on my card, just like that. So there's that. So there's my pretty ribbon. All right, now our last step, we're gonna use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals onto our happy birthday. I'm gonna use 3 of those. I can't get this one off, so I'm gonna have to use my take your pick tool, and I should have used it for that first one, just to keep myself neat and tidy. There we go. Now I can get rid of them and they won't be all over my stamp room floor. All right, so let's go ahead and put our happy birthday onto our card, just like this. Make sure that it's even and set up exactly where you want it. And there's the happy birthday. And the final step is to use our basic rhinestone jewels. And I am going to be using 3 of the larger ones. And I'm actually going to use this end of my Take Your Pick tool where the putty is, and make sure that it's nice and tight, that the putty is on there, and that okay, now I got it to come out, so I'm going to loosen it. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some of these. I'm going to put one down here, and then we'll grab another one, and we'll put it up here, and one more. And just like right there, just like that. There's our rhinestones. There's our card on the inside. You could write something nice to somebody for their birthday. That is our card for today. I hope that you will tune in next week to my Facebook Live. I also have another Facebook Live on Thursday. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I will be having Facebook Lives on my Facebook business page. I will put the links in the description below so that you can find them. Please subscribe to my blog, to my YouTube channel. I am brand new starting out with YouTube. I have been blogging for about a year and decided to take some videos over to YouTube, so I'm new. Get your friends to help me out. I'd really appreciate that as well. And I hope that you enjoyed your time with me today. If you'd like to make this card on Friday, you should be able to see all of my PDFs, and you'll be able to get the dimensions to make the projects that I have on my card on my blog. So thank you very much for your time, and happy stamping.